Hi everybody, and welcome to tour day. I want to add a little piece in your day while I show you around. We have to look at the garden, we have to look at the greenhouse, etc., etc., and I hope you enjoy it. Today was watering day, and I used plant prod, which I have been using since I first started growing orchids. I'm encouraging my high nitrogen. For those who don't know, this is what I'm using. Now there is urea in this. I'm well aware. I've studied and read lots and have not found any harm from it. Plant prod does have urea. And all are getting this fertilizer except the dendrobiums. If we encourage too much nitrogen in our dendrobiums, we're going to get keikis instead of flowers. So I have a separate bucket of water I put aside, and I use this plant prod. So I just wanted to share that with you. And you know, there's so much going on in this world, and I think the main thing I want to say is I think the biggest changes come from how we raise our children, and it's inbred in you as you grow. And I think you have to love all people. We've had our race problems here in BC too. We have our Indians that were abused for many years. And I think the best thing we can all do, if we have lots of time, is educate ourselves on the history of all people. And some people say, I look at people and I don't see color. But you know what? I look at people and I see color. I like to call myself an artist, but nobody knows it but you guys. And I use all colors to paint a beautiful picture. And when I look at people, I see their color and their beauty. And all colors are beautiful. And this is what we have to remember. This is how we have to educate our children of the glories and the beauty and the talents of all people. And when we're all together and loving each other, honestly from our heart, they'll be like a painting where you use all colors and create a thing of beauty. Most of our belongings in this house, our paintings I have done, involve and are parts of all parts of the world. And I enjoy that. And I think that violence is not an answer. Hurting other people because someone was hurt is not an answer. Understanding and loving and staying together and really appreciating all people is the answer. And that's all I really want to say. I've been very saddened also, and I'm going to take you for a tour to take your mind off that. So here we go. We're going everywhere today. Okay, so there's my variety of artwork. There's our little bartender over there. I think he's Italian. He's serving up a nice, his name is Jack, so I think that's why we got that. So here we go. Now there's only a few orchids left in the house. I've moved them all outside except these ones, and they will go out. But if you remember, this is the orchid I repotted, had in the bathtub. It was all so many roots all stuck to the outside of the pot. Well, it's growing a new leaf. It has lots of roots coming, so I'm quite happy with how things are going. And I have two late bloomers. One here, the first flower is just opening. And this one, which I noticed right away what it was doing, but the spike came out up as young and went right through the leaf. That leaf will come off, but it went right through the leaf. I couldn't believe it. That spike is hard to be able to grow right through. So, yes, these are the only ones left in the house, so I'll quickly show you them. This is the one that had the broken leaf because it fell during a house accident. It has a beautiful new leaf coming. It's doing good. Oh, yes, and there's the painting I was going to do. Oh, dear. And so this is all that's left in the house. So we are now headed outside. I want to show you how before I say that, somebody was asking about my Hoya, and I had repotted it and put it around a tomato holder. So I'm going to just let it grow and grow, and there's lots of new leaves coming since I've repotted it, so it really needed it. And of course, the ZZ plant did get repotted last year, so they're doing good, and they like this north window with not as much light. Okay, now what's happening out here? Jack is making a cornhole game. Now, I call that a beanbag toss, but some people call it a cornhole game. And I'm designing, he's got 2 boards he's painting all black, the size of this. And I'm designing what we're going to paint. And the bags will go through this hole. So I'm going to do olive oil and sweet pea or something, maybe Jeep, if you know who Jeep was. I don't know, something else for the other one. So it's all going to be about Popeye. And this corner's all ripped apart because I want a sink out here. I do so much walking when I'm canning in the kitchen out, and so I'm hoping that we can put a sink here and not cost us too much. And the plant hanger that was only hanging 2 lamps is going to go above this stove because there's always a shortage of space when I'm canning. I can hang some stuff. So, okay, let's go look at the orchids. Now, on the top is the dendrobiums because they like the most light, so they're up at the top. And we did put this shade cloth up this year, and it's already a bonus. It keeps the temperature way down. It has been down to 50 at night, and I was worried about these guys, but every day the temperature rises, and temperature is 78.5 in here, and the humidity is over 50, so because they just got watered, I don't worry, but I'll show you how I keep them humid besides the humidifiers. So every bowl under every orchid has water in it. And they sit on a stand so they're not in the water, but they always have humidity. Every one that I have has water in under them. And of course I have my Mr. Foggers that I have going. There's one way back in here. Lots of new leaf growth coming. But that's how I add extra humidity. This is the big lip Phalaenopsis. Has a new leaf, has new roots. Now it'll be a while before it grows into my plan, roots coming down into the cone, but we will see. And this is the mother plant, and where I cut the long root off. Still no keikis, but the roots are green and healthy, so we're still watching that. So now that's the whole rack Jack made out of rebar. So rebar's cheap. The rack didn't cost much. He's made these metal clamps that he squeezed together with bolts and hammers to hold them together. So if you can weld or something, then you could probably do it a different way. So here we go. We are headed outside now. Hi, Maggie. Okay. Now we'll head up. Oh, maybe we'll go this way first. So we have had rain, rain, rain. Lots of rain. Things are growing. We've had lots of rhubarb pies. The rhubarb's been doing good. Now, this rhubarb I haven't picked because this one doesn't get as much sun, but I'm due to pick here too. Now, here's something about onions. I had way too many. Jack went and bought 3 bags of onions, and they were cheap. It was like for $6 or something, variety, and I had no room left in the garden. So under all the raspberries, Mom says, plant them under the raspberries. So we have onions growing everywhere. Now the peonies, they hated the rain. But they're so beautiful, and to walk here smells like heaven. So we have been really busy. We had school kids here painting the house. They're sponsored by the MS Society. They did a wonderful job, so we got a nicely painted house, but it was busy around here. And they also did the gazebo. And these are our mason bees up in that funny looking thing there. We have them in 2 places. Okay, let's go in the greenhouse. Of course. Oh, this thing just grows like a weed. It's been here for so many years. It's huge. It's agave. Anybody know if you can eat that stuff? I don't know. Anyway, it was so rainy, I decided to start some squash and melons in the greenhouse, and I can hook them up to strings. And sometimes we get melons, and sometimes we don't, because it's just not hot enough some years, and other years it's the opposite. So I have some of these started in here. They seem to be doing really good. And I've washed both fruit trees all off, and I've been using a little bit of Dawn soap in a spray bottle with water. And whenever I see ants coming in and crawling on the ground, I spray with this on the ground, and it has really helped. So I've washed all the leaves off because they had scale from the ants, and I think there's still some that are getting in, but we're doing pretty good. Lots of lemons coming. Some are starting to turn color. But I'm going to keep an eye on them, and we do have some oranges coming too. The lemons come all year long. We eat lemons, and the oranges, I've just started actually pollinating them because last time I didn't, but we are getting oranges, and whenever I see flowers, I'll be pollinating them. So, okay. Now we'll head this way. There's some giant lilies not come. And this is the Korean lilac, which is a smaller bush. It started small anyway. It smells beautiful here. So, can you smell that? Whew. Okay, back here, of course, the park is in the back. I'll show you a quick look at the park. Seeing we're doing a tour. There's our park. There's some kids playing way over there. Their mom is there. It's the park. Their kids are back in school here, part-time, different hours. Over here, this poor dogwood has never done as well as it's doing this year. But that's our Provence flower, and that's a pink dogwood. So it's doing good. Now, we did a lot of chicken wire projects, and this is Jimmy. And Jimmy was the only one we must have had cheaper chicken wire, and he started to rust. And Jack picked up this stuff at a garage sale a few years ago, and it was really good, and it stops rust. And he sprayed them, and it did so much good to him. So, show you. So, and of course, I painted the mural. And we found an old broken electric lamp post, and Jack attached some solar lights to it, so it lights up back here at night. So now we'll head over and see how the vegetable garden's doing. I've been picking this rhubarb. This corner I have cucumbers and onions, lots of onions. Now the potatoes are running down here, and I don't have enough dirt because I plant so crowded here. I always do. I always say I won't, but so I'm just putting grass around them as they grow. So it'd be nice to have some new potatoes. And I see there is blossoms coming on the tomatoes, and I have some cabbage growing here and garlic, and I've been picking broccoli. So that's been kind of nice. So I'll have lots of tomatoes and squash in the background, yellow and green beans, some beets. The only one that's not doing well is the beets. The rhubarb in the back is where I've been picking mostly. So before we go to the front, I'm going to show you what we've done with potted plants. I usually have trouble growing lettuce, but this year, holy smokes, it's just because I guess all this rain, plus I got smart and put them on this morning sun side. It doesn't get that hot afternoon sun. So we've been eating kale. And back here I have butter lettuce. If you buy that butter lettuce in a store, and you just take the one that comes growing out of a root, you just take the root and plant it, this is what you get. They're delicious, easy to digest lettuce. In fact, here's one that still I just put in. So if I pull one here, I also plant one. I cut the root off and bring it outside and plant it. And of course I have onions here too. And this is, darn, what's the name of that lettuce? Oh well, I forget. I'll remember. And the fern leaf peonies came out, the rain got them, I've cut them off. There's some peonies here. And here's the porcembiniums that got eaten by the rats. So I don't know if I should repot that or let it just continue how it's going, because it's not too crowded in the pot. And so here's the other one. They've been out in too much sun when the painting was being done. So, and I got peas growing here because it's the cooler side of the house, and they're starting to do good. So, and that's our other mason bee thing. They're doing really well. They're filling up all those holes, and then we keep them in the fridge every winter and then bring them out again. Maggie, don't roll. You get sticky. There's the castle I built many years ago. And another Korean lilac. Peaches are coming. They didn't like the rain either. They get funny leaves. But there is little peaches coming here and there. There's the rock chair I built. 2 broken plastic chairs with the center arm off, and then I just put them on a pile of dirt, and I think you can see chicken wire around there for to hold the cement and then the rocks. This I built many years ago. This was like the sign of life. That was the start of life, the egg. And then here's a poor old lady. And then here, this was a world turning so fast, it was just going out of shape. So, oh, and these guys over here, I still like to play. You have to stay because you could get into mischief. Okay, down we go. The fountain broke, so that's in the middle of being fixed. This side of the house got painted. Oh wow, did it need it? It looks so nice. They did a good job. They they made a few paint drops here and there, but they were good, polite, hard-working kids, and funny. So this is our apple tree, and it only had a couple blossoms on it this year, but this one had lots, so we're hoping to get apples. Okay, now we're in the front yard where we made our rock chairs. A little ornament I finished painting. It was all broken laying in the yard, and Jack put it back together and painted it. So the paint job turned out quite nice on the house. Happy with that. So zinnias I started from seed will be coming up in here. Changed the color of the door, and I'm pleased with that. Okay, and a trip to the front. As you can see, it's quite cloudy today. There's a distant subdivision over on the other hill over there. You can see that. House across the street is for sale. It's huge. Huge. Okay, I gotta come out and fix the chicken wire on the bicycle lady, but we're still thinking of painting these, although there's no rust on them. The color is nice after it's painted, so we're still thinking of painting that. So this was all spring flowers carpeted earlier. And of course there's the little fence separator Jack built from some pieces from a garage sale. Used to be an old stale railing somebody didn't want. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and please have a happy, wonderful future. Think love. Just have it in your heart always. Bye now.